Hello everyone, welcome back to Discover English. Just a few days back when I was conducting an English speaking session in my class, I noticed that there are so many subtle but major errors that most of my students had made while speaking in English. These errors in spoken English are made even by those people who feel that they are quite skilled at speaking in English. But if you want to speak both fluently and correctly in English, you certainly cannot make these errors. So for today's video lesson, I have handpicked 10 such mistakes in spoken English. Come, let's discuss. Let's have a look at the very first sentence here. My room's window is open. So many times while speaking in English, you might be speaking similar sentences like my shirt's color is blue or my room's window is open. This way of speaking in English is incorrect because we are referring to the object room here. Since it is an object, it cannot possess anything, so we must not use a possessive form whenever we refer to any object. It is only human beings or animals who can possess something. That is why we must use a possessive form or an apostrophe only with human beings or animals. So this sentence can be corrected as the window of my room is open. This is how we can correct this sentence. Similarly, if I have to talk about shirt, instead of saying my shirt's color is very nice, I can say the color of my shirt is very nice. So the rule in the nutshell is we must not use a possessive form, that is an apostrophe, with a non-living thing. Now the next sentence is my watch is 2 minutes late. The point that we are trying to communicate in this sentence is my watch is showing a time earlier than the correct time. So what do you think would be the right way of speaking this sentence in English? Should I really use the word late here? It would not be appropriate to use the word late for an object like watch. We must say my watch is 2 minutes slow. Using late would be incorrect in this sentence. Moving on to the third sentence, we have both of them did not go to school. To some of you, this sentence might seem correct, but an important point that we must remember here is the word both does not take any negative form. So this sentence can be corrected as neither of them went to school. Because I cannot use a negative form with the word both, so I have corrected this sentence as neither of them went to school. This would be an appropriate way of speaking this sentence in English. Now the next sentence that we have is I am going to give board exam. Now this is a very common sentence, and so is the mistake that most of us unknowingly make while speaking this sentence in English language. Please remember that while talking about exam, it is inappropriate to say I gave this exam. We must rather say I am going to take board exam. It is always take an exam, not give an exam. So you have to replace the verb give with take. I am going to take board exam, or you can also say I am going to appear for board exam. But using the verb give would be incorrect. It could be either take an exam or appear for an exam, but not give an exam. So moving on to the fifth sentence, we have a set of two sentences here. The first one is the curd is made of milk, while the second one is tables are usually made from wood. Now while speaking in English language, there are so many times when we have to use the two phrases made of and made from. Have you often found yourself getting confused with where to use made of and where to use made from? No worries, I'm here to clear all your confusion. All you have to remember is an amazing tip, that is, always use the phrase made of when the thing is visible to you, whereas use the phrase made from when the thing is invisible to you. For example, here the first sentence is, the curd is made of milk. Now, you cannot see the milk in the curd. So, the right phrase to be used in the very first sentence must be made from, because we cannot see the milk in the curd. Similarly, the next sentence is, tables are usually made from wood. Now, when you see the table, you can immediately make out whether that material is wood or plastic or fiber or whatever. So, because in case of tables, the wood is clearly visible to your eyes, the right phrase to be used here must be made of. This is an incredibly simple and amazing trick. Do remember that. Using this trick, you can frame any number of sentences in English language by correctly placing the phrase made of and made from. You will not get confused with this ever again. Moving on to the next sentence, we have, don't do this mistake again. A very common mistake indeed. While using the word mistake, it is inappropriate to use the verb do. Rather, we must always use the verb make. It is always make or made a mistake, not do or did a mistake. So the sentence must be corrected as, don't make this mistake again. This would be the correct way of speaking this sentence in English language. And this rule is applicable not only with the word mistake, even when you have to use the word promise. We always say make a promise. Or even when you have to use the word speech, we always say make a speech or deliver a speech, not do a speech. Using the verb do in all these cases is incorrect. Then we have a set of two sentences. The first one is, babies grow up very quickly, and the second one is, when I grow up, I shall be a doctor. Now, if you look at these two sentences carefully, the first sentence, should it be babies grow very quickly, or should we say babies grow up very quickly? Think about it. Where to use the word grow and where to use the phrase grow up? That's a big confusion among many people. The word grow means to become bigger in size, whereas the phrase grow up means to become an adult, that is a man or a woman. Now, when you say grow up to someone, that means you are asking them to stop behaving like a child. That means to show maturity. Phrase grow up can also be used in the same sense for cities or for relationships. For example, I can say the closeness grew up between the couple. What I mean by that is their relationship started to develop gradually. So you must be very clear with the difference in the meaning of the word grow and the phrase grow up. Now let us have a look at the first example. It must be babies grow very quickly, not grow up. I mean to say that they become bigger in size very quickly. And the next sentence that we have is, when I grow up, I shall be a doctor. The phrase grow up seems perfect here because I mean to say that when I become an adult, I want to be a doctor. Now moving on to the next one, we have, I met my friend today morning. I'm sure to most of you, this sentence might seem absolutely correct, but it is not so. While talking about present, it is inappropriate to use today morning. Instead, we say this morning. Similarly, when we talk about a present evening, instead of saying today evening, we say this evening. Or when we talk about a present afternoon, we say this afternoon instead of saying today afternoon. But when we talk about present night, we say tonight, not this night. Again, when we talk about yesterday night, we say last night. So that is why while talking about present, using today morning is inappropriate. We must use this morning. In the ninth sentence, we again have a set of two sentences. The first sentence is, the noise of TV interferes in my work, and the next sentence is, I never interfere with his affairs. Now there are two phrases, interfere in and interfere with. Where do you use the phrase interfere in and where do you use the phrase interfere with? If you use these two phrases incorrectly while speaking in English, this may leave a bad bad impression on the one who is listening to you. Please remember that the phrase interfere with means to be an obstacle to, whereas the phrase interfere in means to take part in someone's personal matters, especially when you do not have any right to do so. Hence, there is a major difference between these two phrases. So in the first sentence, it must be the noise of TV interferes with my work because it acts as an obstacle in my work. And then in the second sentence, it must be I never interfere in his affairs because here affairs refers to someone's personal matters. So use it correctly next time whenever you have to use it. And last but not least, we have according to my opinion, he is right. Now most of you might argue that this sentence is absolutely correct. But no, it is not so. We use the phrase according to when we refer to an opinion from someone else or somewhere else. For example, I can say, according to the famous batsman Sachin Tendulkar, cricket requires complete focus. So here I am referring to the viewpoint of a third person, Sachin. Similarly, I can also say, according to the book Wren and Martin, English language is full of pitfalls, which means I am using the phrase according to give reference from some book. Or we can also say, according to the instructions, we must all be seated in the hall. So I repeat, the phrase according to is used when we refer to an opinion from someone else or somewhere else. But when we talk about our opinion, our personal opinion, in that case we must say in my opinion or in my view. Anything. So that's all I have for you today. I have so much more to share with you and I'm going to come back real soon. And before signing off, I would like to request you that if you found this video lesson useful for you, please like my video and do subscribe to my channel by clicking on the bell notification button to get the automatic updates of all my upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching.